Cancel.
Savage, you don't have golf with friends?
No, I don't have it.
Oh man, you're missing out.
I would love to, but I haven't worked for a month, so there's not really anything I can. I'm struggling with money right now, dude.
Oh no, I hear you. I understand. I know how it goes.
Even though I'd love to play with you.
Yep, no, I understand for sure. I know exactly how it always goes. Money is always not the most plentiful thing in the world, unfortunately for everyone. See if anyone is showing any games. There we go. Do 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 do.
English install to.
How many views do you have to get before you can start making money? 10,000?
1,000, I think.
1,000 views.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it?
No, it's not 1,000. You mean on YouTube or?
Yeah.
YouTube.
No, it's 5,000, isn't it?
I think you said it was like 10,000.
I think it's 5,000.
I don't know. Google it.
I think it's 5,000, dude.
Oh, okay.
Google says this just says many YouTubers make 1 million YouTube views on each video. Their goal. Okay, well, who cares about their goal? What's up with the mints, Larry? I don't know what's up with the mints. I don't know. All right. Golf, 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 golf. What? Oh. Wait, somebody's like pushing me along. Interesting.
I'm a YouTube partner. Does that mean I can get ad revenue?
If you're already a YouTube partner, you can get ad revenue. Wait, hold on. When did you sign up on YouTube? Like when did you create your channel?
Fuck. 2013?
And how many views do you already have?
I don't know.
Huh.
If you've had your account that long, you shouldn't be locked into the 5,000 view thing. That's intentional for new accounts.
Oh, I'm grandfathered into the old.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You should be anyways. If you're partnered already, go to
I guess I'm just playing and I don't have to play.
if
This
you're
guy just
partnered
hits the
already,
ball.
Go to in your creator studio, go to your AdSense and make sure your AdSense is connected. And if your AdSense is connected, play one of your videos and see it. Well, make sure your video is monetized, and then if your video is monetized, play it and see if an ad comes up on it.
Where do I find AdSense?
This is all messed up.
I'm rebooting. I'll be back.
Odd 9? Not host. Back. Join. Do. 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 All right. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to go in there and it'll tell you like
Yeah, it
how
says
much money.
account status monetization enabled. Welcome YouTube partner. Congratulations, you're ready to start earning money from your videos. You also get the power of data, exclusive creative perks.
Well, there you go. See, you're already there. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but where does the money go?
You have to earn a certain amount of money before they'll pay you. You have to earn like $100 before they'll actually send you a check.
Oh.
So,
Apparently I have a balance of $2.25.
oh baby. So you got a long ways to go to make $100.
Wait, When did I make $2? What did I make $2.25 on?
I
That's
don't
so
know.
fucking cool. Like, okay, hold up. You're telling me I literally made money just playing games. That's fucking cool.
$2 is not very much
Yeah,
when you think
fuck
about
off,
it.
okay.
I hear you though. I understand exactly what you're saying. You know.
My first money, like making videos. Period.
Yep.
I don't even know which one it is though.
So you need to go in your analytics and look it up.
Okay, analytics.
Let me see.
Revenue reports.
There you go. I don't see you, Larry, as in...
$2.26.
Notice you didn't share my FaceTime comment with Savage. I was trying to be nice with Savage. You don't want to hurt Savage's friends.
Fucking way.
What's up?
I made 66 cents on one of my videos.
Yeah, that's good.
That's so cool.
Did Savage make $2?
Larry, $2 is nothing. Come over and donate it on my fucking Twitch.
No, Larry's just saying that you should, you could always, you know, put your girlfriend on there. I'm sure she could help you make a few bucks. That's what he's saying.
Get her to play with me someday.
There you go. You know, it's usually, you know, past first base. You want to get there. So hopefully she'll play with you.
Oh my god.
Obadiah's Corner.
Damn, my all-time high for subscribers was 218. I'm at 98 right now.
Were you telling me to move you, Chase?
I was telling someone to move me. I don't
Oh,
care who.
sorry.
Oh, hey,
Let's
I
just
found everything. I guess I've made $2.26 off of my
hold
videos, and I just
on.
haven't.
Alright, let's just do this since we're not all like streaming or anything right now at the moment. Oh, I just wasted a golf hit.
Really irritating that I can't access that channel. Yeah, Alpha, what's your YouTube page?
The reason for it is sometimes you would get people that just like grab us and move us around and stuff, and we're trying to stream and do things. It does not make it that convenient.
Alpha, so I'll talk to you in another channel.
Okay. Oof. Why?
I think you're already subscribed.
Why'd you guys leave the channel?
Because I'm trying to talk to Savage before I go to bed.
Okay. I'm not really doing anything. Whatever. Whatever. People, hormones, whatever else. Gets complicated sometimes with people. Life is not all just simple, like golf. It's so much simpler when you can just hit the ball in and relax. I'm not playing very well, though. What was even the score? We're down a little bit. We can do better. Oh, that was some pretty trick shots that guy did. I definitely did not do as good of a trick shot as he did. I hit the jump button. Now I'm failing worse. What? It'll let me hit from here? Oh, that's weird. Oh, that was a weird trick shot. Yeah, I'm losing this one pretty badly at this rate. It's not going great. Oh well. We got a lot of catching up to do now. Which we can do it, actually. Boom. See? It's like that. That's a perfect shot. Eat it in two, suckers! Oh, did he get two as well? Dang it. It's alright. This other guy's mopping, doing poorly. Was he playing twice, maybe? I don't know. Oh, he's gonna get close to hit by the cart. Nice hit. There we go. See, we just gained a bunch on that one guy. Perfect. It's moving our way. Slowly but surely we'll make this happen. Look at that guy bounce that thing. Just jumped that like crazy. Wow, that other guy just jumped it too perfectly. Blah. He did like a soft one, so it was a double jump is what it did. Alright, we're going to try this again. We hit it barely. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Go! Go! Don't stop! You can do it! Okay, you're done. 4, 5, 1. I mean, we're still gaining a little bit, but not as much as I want.
Okay, guys, I'm out of here. If Obi comes back, tell
Later.
him I couldn't stick around and golf with him.
Yep.
Adios.
Later.
Hey, buddy.
That's right. There.
Okay, so yeah, your payment threshold is $100.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Did you not believe me or something, or?
No, I'm just confirming it with you.
Okay, yeah. That's what I said. How do you have to confirm it with me?
Just looking around.
Oh, whatever.
Just looking around.
Ooh! I got lucky. Wow. A little golf clap there. Oh, we're totally going to take second place pretty easily. Oh, I never jumped that one before. That was weird. It was a bad bounce. I am in miscreated channel. You're in the miscreated channel. I don't see a miscreated channel. There isn't a voice for miscreated. If you have a mic layer, you can join the voice channel, like right below ours. Click like the player unknown or click the general. And when we're in a general chat channel, you can just click on it. See where our names are, Savage, myself, and Obadiah. Click there, you'll be able to join in our group area.
Oh, is he actually going to come talk to us?
I don't know. Don't know exactly.
Kinda cool. Even
Oh.
though I'm sort of upset at him for the moment.
Missed it. Oh. I need a little bit more power or a double jump or something. That didn't go very well. I don't want to give up on that shot. Bounce it. Come on. I'm not giving up. Too much. Okay, 3/4 power. Out of time. Full hits. That's not going to help us very much.
Oh, I'm going through and cleaning up my YouTube channel.
What? What did we do? Oh, we're in the wall. What the heck? That's ridiculous. Can't believe we had to get out of the wall there. That was no fun. No fun at all. Alright. Where are you at now, Larry? Well, I mean, you can just join in if you click on the general one if you're in voice chat. I mean, we're just chatting, of course. Whatever. Did he get in? Man, I don't know how they got in. He got in too. Oh, this is the bear one. Ah, it's too far over that way. Flung us out. Maybe straight on the bear's mouth. Oh, I can't even see the bear's mouth now. Great angle. Horrible angle. Hello? Someone did something. There's Larry. I see him now. Hello, sir. Welcome. Bogey 5. Dang it. Too hard. Too little. Too much again. Too much again. This is more of a golf to try to do better for later. Oh, bad hit right off the bat. Oh, horrible hit. Blah. Oh no! It's like the worst option ever. That's a little better. Oh, I can't see. Oh no! It's gonna lip. Lip. Little golf. Whoa, way too much. Way too much again. It says I am connected, but you can't hear me. No, I haven't heard you talk yet. I'm not sure if your mic's having issues or what exactly, Larry. Oh, that was interesting. Sometimes Discord is not always that brilliant at working either. Alright, let's go. Oh, now the time's ticking down. Weird bounce. I'm having the worst of luck with bounce. Look at that. What? Sucks. Oh, man. Weird, bad, horrible bounces. I cannot play the game.
Damn, my most viewed video ever. My most viewed video ever was hit with a copyright content, so I don't get it monetized. Bam. Bam, bam. I have one video demonetized. So
And how many views did it have?
536. And then
Yeah, it's a few.
One was 756.
Yeah, that's actually a few.
Cost like a dollar. Damn
Yep.
it. Damn it. Yeah, at one point I had like 280 subscribers. I was doing not too bad. I was about the same as you and Obi.
You had what?
About 280 subscribers.
Cool.
I want to see how many total views I have, period, like end of story. There's gotta be a way to see that. Be in analytics, I would think.
To see what?
How many views total overall?
Yeah, it'll tell you there. You just gotta select the selection at the top of the
I
screen.
see it lifetime.
There's options. So Larry, I'm not sure why I can't hear your voice. I don't see you talking. Like the little circle next that is next to your name should light up green like
cool.
you see Savage's in mine.
Even
Now it
though-
says RTC disconnected. I think I went over 250 milliseconds and it dropped me.
I think even though, so it's cool is that even
I
though-
don't know about
even though
that.
I was grandfathered in and I didn't need to have 5,000 views, I already had 6,961.
Yeah. That's good.
You don't upload anything directly, only to YouTube, right? You always do your
What?
always do stream to YouTube. You don't upload anything like specifically for YouTube.
Like, what do you mean? I don't get what you mean.
Like, do you make videos for YouTube? Or do you just upload your stream?
I don't get what you mean by do I make videos specifically for YouTube?
I don't know how to ask it any other way that you understand it. If that's not
I mean, every video is a video for YouTube and stuff. So I don't...
Kevin,
What?
do you make videos specifically for the purpose of uploading them to YouTube and YouTube only?
Yeah, why? I mean, what's the point of, making a video pretty much except for doing it for that?
Well, I didn't know if you made videos or not. I thought you only streamed. That's why I'm asking.
No, I do videos and stuff too, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. What?
My average viewers is 5, and I've gotten 11 new follows. My average stream length is 2.5 hours, and my longest stream is 6 hours and 16 minutes.
Oh, this golf game is ruining me.
Ooh. No fucking way. Okay, 292 views from United States, 7 from Canada, 4 from New Zealand, 2 from France, 2 from the UK, 2 from India, 1 from Australia, 1 from fucking Brazil, no shit, 1 from Israel, and 1 from
Yeah, there's always going to be some from all over the place.
That's the coolest fucking shit.
I mean, you can always record and upload later, but I just have it so it automatically uploads my videos or my streams, right after I pretty much do them. Unless, of course, it's, a video for some other purpose. And then, yeah, I've recorded and edited and then put them out later. So, most of the time, Larry, it's just, these streams get uploaded instantaneously. As soon as I'm done with them, they'll start uploading to YouTube Obadiah waits usually like a couple days to upload his, and I don't know exactly why he does that, but
I just uploaded the one that we did earlier.
you just do what you do.
And I named it PUBG Charity Stream with Kevin and Friends.
Oh, what the heck?
The charity thing.
Alright, there we go.
Dude, where's Obi?
He's doing whatever he's doing. Who knows?
I don't even know, man.
Alright, there's a new mention here.
Your videos? Do you just use OBS?
Yeah.
And
Impact.
then, how do you edit them? What do you use to edit?
Who is Impact?
What do you use to edit?
I mean, there's different free programs and stuff that you can use to edit, or most people use Adobe.
Adobe.
But you have to buy it and such. I mean, who is Impact? Not sure. Well, that was pretty horrible as a game of golf. I'm much better than that. I guess let's try again. This time, hopefully, we'll do better because we need to. Savage is big with that one Jewish girl in Israel. Something like that. So Obadiah and I were actually comparing the other day. We were just wondering who had more girl viewers, and I had more girl viewers. I don't know why exactly, but he said it was my Stingray videos, which could be true. The Stingray videos could be the better ones. I don't know. Hopefully we get a go here. I'll just practice until he's ready. Where's the practice button? Practice. Alright. Ooh, way too hard. He's just making it difficult. Ooh, nice roll. Right in the middle. I like it. Fart Blossom was an aquarium junkie. Fart Blossom? I don't know who Fart Blossom is. Do we have jump on? Can I jump? I doubt I could jump. Oh, I can actually. Nice. Oh, did he just turn jump off? Is that why I can't jump now? Interesting. Oh look, there's bowling pins. That's kind of cool. That's cool. I didn't get a strike though. That sucks. Get the last pin. Be cool if it had a ability to like reset it. Oh, that's out of bounds. She was a train wreck of a Canadian streamer we watched when Rock crashed that one day. Oh, you know, I miss Rock, and I've had... Oh, who did do that? I didn't mean to do a stroke. Is there even anyone else here? I don't think so. If there's no one else here, I don't want to just play by myself. I'm looking for other people. You know, I'd like to play Rock some more, and it's a lot of fun, but at the same point, it really is dead, you know, for a good long while here. It's not making any progress. There's nothing going on with it. it unfortunately is not going to be something that we can play again anytime soon. All right. We're gonna make it so you get 32 minutes. Collision on, show less power, on, retry shot mode off. Alright. We'll start a new one. But also I had I can't remember who it was, but they were asking me if I wanted to play another like Mars game. And I was just thinking, why do I want to play another Mars game? I already have enough of them that I haven't been able to put all the time into and do everything. So this semester, Larry, no, I'm not. I'm actually, for the moment, I'm putting myself on a bit of a break from school to maybe not going back to school. I don't know. I honestly, I know school's super important. I know it would be good for me. I need to do it, but at the same time, I have a really hard time concentrating and doing school when my mind spends so long thinking of different business ideas and different entrepreneurship type stuff and buying and selling stuff and doing everything with my stingrays. And I'm not bad at school. I'm okay with school, but I have a really hard time studying and just sitting down and doing it. I really do. And I wish it was simpler for me, and I wish that it was just cut and dry, that I could just get in and do school easily. But I have a hard time concentrating on it. Like my wife, she can sit down when she, needs to do school stuff, and she can just sit down and do it for 7 or 8 hours or whatever it takes to get it done. And I can't. I just can't. I can't, or I don't want to. I don't know which one it is, but at the point that I was at, when I parted with school just a little while ago, I was just throwing away money. Like, for how many credits I was completing and getting done, I was just barely doing the bare minimum, and I'm just throwing away money at that point to it. So there's no point in continuing if you're not making progress and getting your money's worth out of it. So at that point, I might as well buy a car with that money, and I might as well make a payment on a car instead of throwing away the money just at school and then have to repay it back later and get nothing out of it except for pay it back later. So I would like to, and I want to, but I don't know, something about it right now, and specifically over the last little while, I just haven't been able to sit down and concentrate and get it done. Even if I know there's an exam that I gotta do. And it's not because I've had distractions, over this last while. This last semester that I did of school, there was the first bit of it where I was still in construction on my pawn system, and I was really into first the setting it up and changing stuff, and it was really labor intensive, and I was having issues with stingrays being of bad health, and I lost a few of my babies and stuff that I just had born. Well, I lost pretty much all of them, so that was really rough on me. The first really beginning of school, I got sick with some crazy sickness that I had nothing. I went to the doctors and I said, you just have to get over it. And it took me months to get over it. That definitely took a lot out of me. But overall, after that, I mean, it was just that I was not interested that much. Aren't I tired? I mean, it's 2:21. I'm a little, but not that much. Lex Lantern, I mean, I was being sleepy, and I was going to bed at like 11, 10 o'clock, and then all of a sudden that went away, and I started going back to sleep at 3 or so o'clock, and now it's back to going to bed whenever. Oh, I missed that one badly. That was not as good as I could have done at all. I should have had a 1 there, not a 2. How'd that guy do a 1? I don't know. I thought he hit it twice. I don't know why I'm awake. I have school at 7. Yeah. I hear ya. Sometimes you just can't sleep, and that's life. Let's see. 4 to 5. We lost connection with one guy. He obviously got angry because he was not getting perfect hole-in-ones. Perfect. Whoa. Sensitivity sometimes can just go crazy. Wow, that was a good hit. Come on, bounce it off the back. Come on, roll! Hi. It's been a while since I stopped by. Well, I know. Well, I do realize you've been caught up in school, and that's important. Definitely do it. Get it completed. Get it done. Work hard at it. That's what it's all about. It's most important. Very important. Oh, oh. Oh, no. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, little too little power. Didn't jump. You there, Savage?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Watching one of my old videos real quick.
Ah. Any tips on passing classes?
Sleep.
Ooh.
Get your sleep.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say sleep.
Hold on, can I make one more tip real quick?
Oh yeah, go for it.
So when I was in the Navy, a big thing for me was testing. I would always overstudy, and then I would question myself when it actually came time to take the test. If you mark something on a test, never change it because you marked it for a reason. The only time you change it is if you go back and you read it again and you're like, wow, that was blatantly wrong. But if you're stuck between two answers and you make a choice, never go back and change it, because I made that rule for myself and my test score started going up 20-30%. No joke. Just because I stopped changing answers. So if you have a gut feeling for something, just go with it. I mean, I never, I haven't gone to college yet. I'll be starting in the spring. But I did take classes when I was in the Navy, and I'm out of high school, so I passed all of that. So, I mean, if that advice is anything to you, I would just say, when you take tests, don't overstudy. Stick with your gut, and then if you can, get enough sleep. Don't stay up watching Kevin and I play games all night, because when you get to class tomorrow, you're gonna be wanting to sleep just like I slept all through high school, and I regret it now because you get out of high school and you haven't gone to college yet, and when you haven't gone to college
Way
yet,
too
it's hard
low.
to find a job. So don't let this time go by. Like if I could go back to school, I would. Just cherish it. Have fun. You know, it's important.
My biggest things is write down notes as much as possible. Write down all the notes. Keep track of all that important information. There's a lot of really good stuff that you can write down, and it'll help you just remember it overall by spending time writing it down and remembering all that stuff. But also just practice. If you have practice test availabilities, take all the practice you can. Did he get... No. Where's he going? Oh, I missed it. You also get to drive soon. Well, that's just scary. But you know.
So much fun. Yeah, dude,
It'll change your life.
14, 15, 16, like goddamn, dude, that was no responsibilities, no bills, just starting to get my first job.
Yeah, the most important thing though is just start planning for future college and everything. I mean, that's
enjoy it.
So
Enjoy
needed.
high school. It goes by way faster than you think.
Oh, eat it. Yes. His mic is super low. Yeah, I know. I have him up all the way, and I've turned everything up all the way and a lot of stuff. So, I've played with it a little bit. Whoop, good one. Looped it in. Yeah, I've been tweaking stuff. I have it maxed out, which is odd. Alright, let's get back to our golf. Too many behind. There's no way you can mess up that many shots. He failed. I didn't get my hole in one, but he's failing multiple times. Maybe he will get more strokes. It's a pretty easy shot, though. Oh, nice. Give him a little bit more of a run more. Well, Lux Lantern, go to bed. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Night, buddy.
Appreciate you coming over. If you can't hear Savage, he says good night as well. It's nice having you real quick. So, what are you playing, Savage? Nothing? You going to bed too, or what?
No, I'll be up for a little while longer.
So, you gonna play something or not?
I'm just playing some of my older videos.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to mess around with my analytics and editing and just fooling around with my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
I might play some warships here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can stream some of that. I was trying to give my computer a chance to cool down. It was really hot because we played PUBG for like 4 hours.
Gets warm, huh?
Yep, on my laptop, remember?
Yep.
Yep, gotta sometimes let it cool down a little bit.
Savage return. Yep, he's here. Let's see. Where's like preview? So I was looking at my waterfall pictures. This one's a pretty good one. It's not too bad. A little bit slowed down for some nice effects. It needs to be brightened up around the edges, but it was later at night too, so it was just kind of dark. This one's too fuzzy.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm showing some Yellowstone pictures real quick on my stream just for the fun of it. This one's really crisp and good. I don't know if you want to see some Yellowstone pictures, Larry, but I figured this was something interesting, and no one's really here playing or doing anything.
Really cool waterfall.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I was playing around a little bit with shutter speed, slowed it down a little bit.
Well, if you have warships downloaded, I could teach you how to play it.
My wife wanted to snap a whole bunch of pictures of the river, and I told her that we probably didn't need a million pictures of the river, but she wanted to snap pictures of the river and the ducks. So she snapped pictures of the river and ducks. Them in their natural setting. Out by the river. You can make more money by breaking down your videos to 20 or 30 minutes a piece. I've definitely thought about it, Larry. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I mean, you know, when I come out of a video that I've done for, you know, 4 or 5 hours, and yeah, you get 80 views on it or whatever during that time, it's not bad. But I mean, right now, literally, I'm getting about 100 views a day, you know, just out of like my most recent streams that I do each day. I'll get about 100 views at least. And then, you know, certain ones definitely get even more. But when I was doing before, previously, when I was doing the rock videos, they were even doing better. But I'm trying to figure out, you know, what exactly I need to do to help keep boosting stuff. But right now, I'm actually getting a big boost of my previous videos that I've actually recorded. A lot of them have been going back through and being watched. So I'm getting some boosts in some places, and it's just kind of working. My wife thought it was really neat that this tree was growing out of the rock, so she was snapping this picture. It's not the most in-focused, but it was out of a moving vehicle. So what happened? These were all out of a moving vehicle. There's an elk that we saw. There was just, it was crazy in Yellowstone. We had like backups for an hour just for people to see like one elk. It was a little underrated, but.
Would you want to play some warships, my friend? Would you like to learn?
I really don't know. I'm debating. I need to go down and look at my pond and either decide if I'm going to do a new epoxy coat tonight or not. So I guess I'm just kind of hanging out for a little while. I was going to see if Obadiah was going to come back and if he wanted to play around a golf or two, but I pretty much am thinking I need to get to bed probably sooner than later. So I got to go tomorrow and help my mother-in-law with her vehicle and stuff like that. So
I'm living that unemployed life. Wake up at 11 o'clock, apply for 30, 40 jobs, play some video games, and do it again.
I hear you.
Man, I've been applying so many places. So many fucking places.
Yeah.
I'm about to, honestly, dude. If I can't get a fucking job soon, I'm gonna have to go and like get some job somewhere that's what I'm trying to find pay wise. You know, I could,
Oh yeah.
because if I needed to, I could go get a job at like Subway or McDonald's or something and be fine. But like,
Yeah.
I want a real job. You know, I want to be making my goal is $16 an hour.
Yep.
That's what my goal is. That I feel like if I broke down, that's what I need to be able to pay for an apartment and my truck payment. So,
Yep.
and even that's still a little light. But if I could make it work on $16 an hour, I would just have to take any overtime I could get and then just not live frivolously, you know.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
But I mean, for the moment, I'm all right. Starting to get scared though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
The bank's getting ready to take my first truck payment out. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be okay. I'll make something work.
That's what it's all about, making it work.
All right, dude. Well, if you're gonna hop off, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out here for I guess a little bit, but I'll be heading off whenever. I'm just kind of going through some pictures here, chatting with Larry, get some ideas from Larry and such. I appreciate Larry's wisdom. He's a very smart guy. I love the colors of Yellowstone, all the different reds and yellows and
So
everything.
why does my video? It's been 95% processed for like 15, 20 minutes now. And it says, "Thank you. Your upload is complete. Refresh the page once the video is done processing to see the video player and thumbnails."
Well, it says it's done and completed.
Oh, there we go. It's done now. It just finished.
Hello, Cosmo Gamer. Hello, nice to see you. I'm sorry we're not quite gaming 100% right now. I'm actually showing some Yellowstone pictures from our previous trip that we took to Yellowstone. It was a lot of fun. Probably take... There we go. Yep, they get processed and upload eventually. It is just amazing to see at Yellowstone how to add you in Steam. My name in Steam is just Dedesis. You can add me easy and simply as that. That's my name in Steam. I'd be more than happy to have you as a friend on there. Let's take a look.
I'm going to be streaming some warships, so if Larry would like to watch me as well as talk to you,
Yep.
that he can head on over.
I remember now, though, that Cosmo Gamer is Kevin. So hello, Kevin. Glad to see you, sir. Speaking of jobs, what kind of job brought Justin to Memphis? Justin is actually... Okay, cool.
Alright, later, buddy.
Yep, see ya. Justin is actually... He's managing construction for Marriott hotels now. That's what the most current job that he has is. And the only reason I know this is because Obadiah was mentioning it last time. So, that's what it is. What's a good business concept for Savage? I can always type it to him. I don't know if I don't know if I'm quite afraid. You know, it was funny. It was not funny, but it was kind of sad that Savage. It seemed like he had something really good going for him with the construction stuff he was doing, and then he just thought that he was going to get that new position that he was applying for, so he quit the job that he had, which he seemed to be doing good at and liking, thinking he was going to get that new position, but it doesn't work that way usually. I mean, I understand, the concept, but I'm not sure why he went ahead and jumped on that opportunity, but it's kind of just sad, disappointing that he seemed like he had a good opportunity, but probably is not the easiest to get back into when you say, hey, I'm done, I'm going to go do something else. They expect you to do something else then. I don't know why I snapped this picture. I was just looking at it. I was like, it looks cool, but at the same time, it's not the most captivating picture in the world. Being in Vegas, he could get a few of those lifelike love dolls and rent them out by the hour. my my friend actually, or I guess yeah, he's a friend, but he was my roommate at the time. He said that there used to be places. I don't know if that was where it was or what it was, but he said there used to be, kind of like hotels, but you only rented them by like the hour, couple hour blocks at a time versus, a full day. And he said they did really well and were really profitable just for people to pretty much have their, areas and availability. So I don't know. That would be kind of funny though, Larry, to sell like, love dolls, rent them out while you're, people in Vegas while they're thinking they're going to get a great time and then don't. Got to fall back on something, I guess, at a moment. Let's see. I think we got this. Let's click on this. New invite. Accept. There you go. I got you. Got you, Kevin. Young and dumb, don't quit a job that is decent until you get offered a better job. Yeah, it's... I don't know if I'd call him young and dumb, but he did, kind of say it himself that, yeah, it's kind of a young kid thing that he did. He jumped at it and he thought it was going to go. I was playing around with lighting here, trying to get the best, see-through of the actual water, the color. It's just definitely a diverse area in Yellowstone, and it's just amazing to think that some of these areas, they're a couple hundred degrees, just the land that's sitting around there. It's a couple hundred degrees just sitting out there. You would never know it. I wonder if Kevin's going to be playing. Okay, he's not playing as far as I can tell. He must be offline. I know Kevin wanted to get together and play Player Unknown, but I don't see him at the moment. Alright. This picture that I took, I mean, I really like it, but in some other ways, it doesn't have that interesting of a background. It's not like the sky was super blue or anything. It wasn't that brilliant great, but I just kind of like the open field look. It's just kind of neat. I did like this little river going through here, and this kind of look of the sticks and everything and the colors. This was kind of one of my favorite pictures. It's kind of a little bad with the walkways up here that they have around the park. So this is kind of it cropped in a little bit better. Do I auto host you? It isn't prostitution, so he could do it within city limits? Maybe. That's not a bad idea. So this is a picture that I really actually liked. I like this kind of in the water look down below that transferred into the stream and the steam and everything. But it's amazing to think that this water flowing through here is, 150 degrees or more. It's just crazy to think that it's steaming, bubbling, boiling, just everything. It seems like it's just hot. Hot and risky. You don't want to play around in there too much. Here's one of these big old pools. This water I think was a couple hundred degrees. What does this say here? Oh, this was to the trip around. but just bubbling, boiling. Is it legal to build cob houses where you are in Utah? I don't know. I've never really looked into cob houses, or am I familiar with it, to be honest with you. I mean, I live in Salt Lake City. It's more of actually in the main, city kind of area. I'd imagine down in southern Utah, in those places, it's probably likely that you could do it. Very much likely. So this geyser area was actually really neat. This is actually one of the best eruptions that happens in Yellowstone, but it's super unknown. It actually gives the largest, biggest, best show if you're ever able to see it. But the problem is it's really sporadic. It's been known to happen every 5 days or every like 50 years or just whenever. It's pretty much, one in a 1,000 chance or 1 in a 5,000 chance of you seeing this particular geyser erupt. But when it does erupt, it is the highest, best shooting, most crazy eruption ever that happens. And it just shoots up a huge steam spout that I guess can be seen from pretty much all across the whole entire park and everything. It shoots a couple 100 yards up into the air. It's just a massive amount of pressure that's released from this particular geyser. It, kind of bubbles and burls a little bit, but when it does erupt, it is just phenomenal. And they have some pictures and stuff shown. So here it is. So frequent minor eruptions happen. They're 10 to 40 feet high, but the major eruptions are more than 300 feet tall. So pretty amazing. But as you can see, the last major eruption was in 2014. So it could happen at any time. It's unknown realistically when it could happen. But they also say that that geyser, it's so big and its eruption is so great that when it happens, this whole entire water bed down here that we're seeing here, it drains it. This is below level, so that other geyser's about, I'd say, 30 yards higher up. Well, probably 60, 70 feet, somewhere in there. Probably 60, 70 feet up in height and elevation from where this one is. This is down at the bottom. But when that geyser erupts, this whole entire hot spring here drains completely. It just takes every single ounce of water from it and takes it away and sucks it dry when it erupts. So it's really kind of neat that this feeds into the other. It's just amazing how blue the water can be in these places. Just blue is blue. I don't know specifically if something makes it super blue or what, but it's just really blue, all this water. Building cones don't allow them in my area, but I think it would be cool to build one. Nearest hot springs to me is in Arkansas. We actually have quite a lot of hot springs in Utah. There are a good number of them that I've gone to a few and that you can go to. So it is pretty amazing. Some of the water definitely does not look the prettiest. Like you can see all this kind of milkiness on top. Some is definitely not pretty. Like you can tell it's definitely gucky whatever water, but still pretty picturesque just with the blue and everything else. It does look very neat. But you can also tell where it's just, this is dead earth. I mean, whatever's in this water is just, it's so bad that nothing can live out there. I mean, we got like this one little plant that's living semi-close, but it's just this water and everything's so bad that even the dirt, it's just can't survive any type of color, nutrition, anything. It's just amazing. You can see this big catwalk that loops out here, loops across through the trees and all the way back around here. It's just this huge area that you can walk through. As you can see, so the catwalk we're on now was on the right. This is another catwalk that goes all the way around out here too. So I don't know if you guys, any of you have ever seen Yellowstone before, but it's pretty interesting. And here's just a different color and scheme of everything. This is kind of going through the same area. We met a guy here that had a laser thermometer, and he was measuring, stuff as he was going along. And I was thinking that was the coolest thing. I wish I would have brought a laser thermometer with me to kind of check the temperature of stuff and just see what it all was. Because even the ground right here in front of us, it looks pretty normal. It was still reading anywhere between 120 to 180 to 200 degrees. 120 to 200 degrees in all these different areas. So, I mean, it still is very hot to warm. I mean, very, very warm. So it really is just interesting to kind of see these areas. I thought this looked really neat. This kind of like green riverbed through here. It almost looks like an oil slick to me. But it realistically is just the different colors and nutrients. And you get that orange and the green, and it really is neat. I think I had some more pictures of it, but it looks like an oil slick pretty much through there, but it's just the minerals and everything else going through here. It's just bizarre. There's a good close-up view of it, just so you can see the different colors. If you were a mineralogist and you knew your minerals really well, you could obviously spend a lifetime probably exploring and checking out, all the different stuff if you knew all of it. But I'm not that smart and brilliant in all those different areas to be able to understand, what all the colors are and what that means exactly. But it fascinates me still. I mean, that you can just get this amount of color and depth from it. It's just pretty neat. Pretty darn neat. I can definitely admire it, though. I may not be able to tell you what it is exactly, but I can admire it. And I like green, so I definitely can admire it when it's green. One of my favorite colors. Look at how dark that green is. There it goes into a spring. It is just amazing to see that even in a lot of these areas, like they'll have a spring like this, but a lot of the times the water doesn't really flow out anywhere. It actually just, stays there and flows underneath. So it's actually being fed from underground, and it feeds up into these areas and pools, but then it goes back down underground and keeps flowing most of the time. It's just interesting to see the amount of water that's rushing and moving in these areas. I really like this little waterfall area. It has so much color to it. I really thought it was neat. So I snapped quite a few pictures of this. I just thought all the different colors and this little waterfall spilling here. I should have got some slow motions right here. It would have been really nice to get. But yeah, I should have done slow motion. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. I like that. I could actually crop that one in a little bit. Yeah, like this. This tree branch, I don't like it. But I do really like that. That looks good. So many colors. So much variety. I could Photoshop off that branch if I wanted to. I like that. Or do it down over here like this more. I don't know if I'd want the rock bed in the bottom or not. I like it though. It's really pretty. More geysers, more steaming. That's kind of neat. I don't really remember this 100%, but it was something there. It's a fuzzy picture. There, that's a lot better. It's not fuzzy. Get the mountains in the back. Good colors. Good colors. Everything looks good. Gotta like that. Here was our first bison we saw. It was actually just walking right across the, right down the road. It was just right on the other side of the road walking. So you know what? It's the best place the best closest bison we could find. So I snapped a picture of it real quick. Figured that was going to be a really good one. It's not too bad of a picture. you know, driving a car at the same time as snapping pictures of a bison down the road, that's not too bad. Pretty amazing animals. So we need to find you a new game that has not saturated the stream market, that is fun to watch and allows multiplayer. Yeah, it's getting difficult. I mean, you know, everyone keeps hoping for the next game to be released that it's going to be the next biggest hit. What we have is what we probably have for the next couple months worth of gaming, you know, and that's one of the reasons, Larry, why I've been, you know, focusing a lot on my, you know, Stingray Pond is I really need to get that work done, and it's really important, and it definitely can make me a lot more money than YouTube can and stuff, and that's, you know, what I've put a lot of my effort and time into, and I've spent the last 5 years raising stingrays and breeding and working with stingrays, so it's a lot of a time commitment. So you know, I need to get them into a new house that's definitely better suited and set up for them. So, did your wife enjoy the park? She did. I mean, we had an incident where my father-in-law had to go into the hospital during the trip at the very first, you know, the second day we were, you know, the first real day of us being there. You know, my father-in-law was not doing well and he had to go into the hospital, and that put a lot of strain on everything and made it so it was hard to actually go out and enjoy it. But you know, we had one main day that we were able to actually go out and see stuff, which is what you see here, and that was, you know, fun. But other than that, honestly, it was it was kind of a wasted vacation in some ways, just because we drove a lot and a lot more and a lot more, and we spent time, you know, driving back and forth from the hospital to our hotel area to drop him off at one hospital. Then he got transferred to another bigger hospital, which was another hour plus away, and it just it got really complicated, and it made it so it was not something where we could go and actually enjoy time. So we pretty much had one day to actually go and enjoy the park and do stuff. And after that, we pretty much spent all of it just driving and getting back. So it didn't turn out to really be much of a vacation, and it definitely was not a relaxing break or anything like that. It was not a vacation we should have really gone and done with the condition that everyone was just in at the moment. This is kind of what they call the Grand Canyon. I guess I should say what my picture is. So this is the Grand Canyon, I guess, of Yellowstone. So am I up to more than $100 per month in stream revenue yet? Not even close. Not even close. So, nope. It it takes a lot of views and a lot of stuff to get, you know, even up to getting, you know, $40 or $30 per month. I mean, it takes a lot. So, I mean, I definitely have slowed down, but because of games like Ark came out with a new update and they actually released it fully to all the public now, and it's a full released game. So that gave a boost to my previous Ark videos, and because of that, I've been making the most money that I ever have just in the last little while because of that. But other than that, no, I mean, at most, I'm making possibly like $20 a month at the very most. That's been about the best that I've honestly done so far. So that gives you an idea that it's very little money when you figure how much time and effort and everything you put into it. I mean, you literally, you know, it's not even enough to pay for the electricity that you'd run your computer off of, to be honest. So, I mean, for starting out, it's really rough. I mean, I've made more in the few donations that I've been given than I have in YouTube revenue. So, But I always knew it was going to be a long trip. It's going to take a while. Subscriber base keeps climbing steadily and everything like that. So as long as that stuff keeps going and everything is fine, we're going to keep going for it. We'll keep trying it, you know. We'll see how it goes, and we'll just try to keep growing and have fun with it. That's the biggest thing. Just have fun with it and enjoy it. So if someday that can make $100 a month, great. If it can't, well, it's just how it'll be. Obviously, you know, even $100 a month isn't enough to do really anything. So it's just how it goes. I like the tree kind of branch in here. It's not much of a scenery thing to take, and it's so bright white washed out with the sky being white. It's not really the greatest. You always got to have blue skies or, you know, something to really help set your pictures apart. Here's our biggest buffalo group that we saw. They were out grazing quite far away, but quite a lot of them. I don't know, probably at least 50 head of buffalo. But they definitely make a lot of grunting noises. It's really interesting to be near them. They're not like cows at all. They're more kind of like pigs, I guess. Pigs or hogs. I mean, they definitely grunt and kind of bellow a little bit versus anything else. It's really kind of weird. So definitely different weird creatures. They're not normal. They're definitely different. So I was thinking this would make a good picture. My father-in-law might like a picture from us. I don't know, what's the quality look like? It's not that good. I used my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law has a bigger zoom lens. You know, I've done photography work and I've had some really nice expensive lenses. And, you know, they can definitely make or break your photos, especially when you're, you know, doing this sort of stuff and you zoom in like this. You can definitely see there's, you know, a fair amount of quality loss, you know, where there always is going to be, but there can be more detail captured with higher, better glass in your photography lenses. And that's where just lenses like this, they don't quite carry it as well, but it's not bad either. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not shooting this professionally, but it looks pretty good. I think I definitely might take this photo, chop it up, crop it up, and maybe give it to my father-in-law. I think he might like it. This one's a little blurry, but this one's pretty good on point. There's a bigger kind of wide view of all the buffalo. I don't know, maybe he would like more of a wide view like this of buffalo to see them better. It's hard to say. Unfortunately, you know, it was my father-in-law's only trip that he's ever really gonna make ever to Yellowstone, and he wasn't able to actually ever go and see all of it. He would have really liked to have, you know, sat out there and looked and seen, you know, the animals and stuff. This was another one. This is another really good one that I might, you know, do instead. The lone buffalo by itself, it looks really good. Quality's not bad too. I like just the colors here on the grass and then the water, everything. It looks really good. So I'm thinking that one definitely could be a pretty good one as well. You're welcome to the brain and the thinking of Kevin. I have an itch. I need to scratch. That's what he's saying right there. So this gives you an idea how far we were actually away from them. They say you only want to, you want to stay more than 100 yards away from buffalo. Or wolves, 100 yards. But if it's elk or a lot of the other animals, they say that you can get within like 20 or 30 yards, which is kind of funny because they can be as dangerous in a lot of ways. But it was fun to see them. Pretty area. Just pretty. Picturesque. The mountain in the back. That's a pretty shot too, actually. So never mind, I take it back. It's probably way more than 50 head. There's 20 right there. So yeah, there had to be close to 100 head of buffalo. I think this was at another spot that we went to. There was a closer spot that the buffalo were like right up at the road, and there was actually a park ranger right there hanging out with them because they're aware of people being stupid, and they wanted to protect them and be right there with them. So this was a little bit further down the road. We saw some more. Some action shots of buffalo rolling. Oh yeah, baby. Roll, buffalo, roll. I know. Not that entertaining, but it's a buffalo rolling. You might never have seen that. Who wouldn't take pictures? Probably lots of people wouldn't take pictures. I know, I get the point, but I was just thinking, man, look at the muscles on that leg. Sheesh. They are strong animals. Strong animals. That was a flexing muscle shot, that one back there. This place was probably one of my favorites. It was really neat. They call this the Dragon's Breath or the Dragon's Den, but it just, out of this cave, first off, you have the water kind of building up in waves and sloshing out. It would be nice if you could tie into the LDS community to boost views. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's I guess it all depends on what type of stuff you want to do, of course, for your game wise, but not game wise, but your channel. I mean, you can do channels of anything, of course. You have unlimited availability, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest person when it comes to the LDS type stuff. I mean, yes, I'm a member or whatever, but also I'm not what I would consider the most active or the most caring for the LDS stuff. I don't know, living in Utah, it almost turns me off more to it just because they're crazy and stupid sometimes with everything. And, I understand everyone has their days, moments, whatever else, but it just seems like it's overkill, like pushed and almost enforced upon people. So, but this dragon's place, it was just neat. The water sloshes out every now and again, and then you can hear the billowing and like the rumbling of pretty much like a dragon breathing, and then you just have that smoke that's just kind of billowing out at times, and it slows and then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it's just really neat. So this place astounded me. It was definitely by far my favorite place to see and to really just kind of experience, that difference there. And it also made me think, I was thinking, why can't we just, take some sort of a cap and put it in there and have that place generate electricity or do something like that? There's raw power right there, just thermal power. I think that we should have taken Yellowstone. We should have turned it into a big thermal power plant at this point. I know that we make or somebody makes tons of money on it. The government does each year, but still. This place was really neat to me too. It almost looks like, the moon with the craters and stuff, and it's just the colors are pretty as could be, and out at this huge lake, but just super pretty. I was thinking that it'd be kind of neat to take this picture and almost Photoshop, some of this stuff into some of these areas and add a little bit more of some water pockets. Would not make it, quite as much as it, as authentic as it is, but it would really look pretty, and it's just a neat area with such cool colors and everything. Really liked it. Maybe trim this picture down. It's hard because they want to get that in there, but then everything else, you don't want to get the railing in. Have to be a lot of Photoshop work. Another waterfall. There's waterfalls everywhere. We just stopped at this little one, and I don't know. Once you see one waterfall, you see all the waterfalls. This, as you're aware, is, yes, Old Faithful erupting. It definitely was, you know, pretty neat. It was not bad. It was nice to see. Exciting. Man, I could not believe how many people turned up to watch Old Faithful. I mean, you know, as they say in the park, Old Faithful is the only one that is really kind of like clockwork that keeps erupting over and over and over again, and they can actually plan it and prepare for it and have it, you know, written down. But you can see this is half of the people. I mean, there's the same amount on the other side of us, but just, you know, tons of people here. And this isn't even really like a peak time of the year, but just tons of people hanging out here watching Old Faithful erupt. Just as amazing. So, some pretty good shots, though. I think the wife was mostly snapping with the picture here, or the camera. This was my second favorite area. It is a lot of water that's boiling up here, but just some amazing colors, and most of all, just really cool looking. We'll get into it a little bit further. This is where some of my main shots were. Look at this, just this water so crystal clear. It's just amazing. It's just sometimes it just looks too good to be true almost. Just crystal. Almost like crystal. Clear crystal, water, whatever. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's just amazing. And then these areas are just like this crust on top and all the water seeping up through it. But it's just amazing. Almost looks like, you know, it seriously looks like this could be out, you know, if you just took this picture and you were like shooting like this, it just looks like it could be at a tropical reef somewhere. Some tropical island that this is the reef where the corals are all growing. This is the sandy beach. You know, just that's what it looks like to me. It's just that crystal clear and nice of water that it's out somewhere in the Pacific Ocean or something. I don't know, it just amazes me sometimes, some of these areas, and how clear and how beautiful the water looks. This was probably one of my favorite things. I just love the texture of this. I was thinking this picture would look, you know, really cool in like a black and white, but it pretty much is already almost, you know, kind of black and whitish. It's got this orange band through it. Just really neat area. But then even further down, you kind of get this orange streak that goes through it. But as you keep kind of moving up and further, you'll see the orange keeps growing more and more. Keep going. Keep going. We'll get more of it. I really like this. And this is what it looked like from downfield. You know, when you're just kind of looking across it. It definitely looks really different. You can see how much water is actually on it versus this. It looks like it's almost clear, like there's no water on it. But you can see here, this is actually how much stagnant water is on top of it. And it's definitely flowing and going down, you know, hill. And then there's this huge, deep, you know, waters back here. This Grand Prism Spring is just billowing out thousands and thousands of gallons of water constantly. Just amazing. But then as you get up further, as I said, you see this orange is starting to grow, and you get the spring, the pure blue spring in the background. It starts to get really neat, and then that's where you get this. I mean, look at that. Just amazing colors. Just amazing, amazing colors. And then you get the differences, the black, the grays, the orange, the white, the white ring, and then the actual crystal blue water. I don't know, just amazing looking. Just amazing. There we go. I like that type of a shot. It looks really good. All that orange and then that goes into the blue. I would probably highlight the blue in the sky a little bit better, but man, it's just cool looking. There we go. That's a pretty good one. Pretty. Just amazing. Just amazing how, you know, orange it can be. Orange, red, crimson, all sorts of colors. Black, the blue, the tan. That one's pretty. I like that one a lot. Looks like our trees are kind of out of focus, but obviously this is the stuff that's in focus here. Made to be looked at really well. Man, it's just amazing area. Amazing to think that this all just is sitting there and it's natural. Gotta wonder what type of nuclear disaster or whatever happened. So this over here, you can see in this picture, this is actually an overlook. We didn't go over here. I kind of wish we would have had time to do it. We were thinking of doing it the next day, but with having to drive up 3 hours to the hospital that my father-in-law was at now, it just wasn't going to be possible for us to come back into the park. Because just to drive, it seems weird. Like, you think of a park like this, that it would be small, but it can take like 4 hours to drive across this park. And if there's one elk or one buffalo in the way that people want to see, it's going to back you up for another hour or more. It just gets crazy. So, that's a great one. Man. Yeah, I definitely need to spend a little time. I'd like Photoshop out some of the twigs and sticks. But definitely take some nice photos of these. Look at this. Just looks like Mars. It's like Mars or somewhere else. Just different world. Just crazy. Sorry, I was playing around with shutter speeds and stuff here, trying to get a nice little water flow. It's hard because this is so bright white in the background with all this dark orange. And it's just a bright day as well. My browser crashed. Yeah, I figured something happened. I don't know if you missed all of it or not, but pretty much close to the end of this. I'm just snapping some shots away. That's pretty much it. I'll skip back to the best part for you, Larry. There you go. There's like the best spot for you. Some pretty amazing stuff. Just interesting, crazy views. Crazy, crazy looking. I mean, look at that. That's just cool. I think if I took a little bit of time, photoshopped out like the stick here and a couple of the other little pebbles, you know, man, it's just a beautiful picture. Just beautiful. So, no, it was an okay trip. It definitely was not, as we expected or anything else, but we came, we conquered, we left, and that's what we did. So, all right. Well, I'm getting really tired. It should go to sleep. I know that my buddy wanted me to come play some PlayerUnknown with him, though. So, I guess I'm just going to leave the stream going. If you want to chat anymore or whatever, you can. If you're signing off for the night, sign off for the night and just say that I'm going to bed or whatever. So what business ideas have you been pondering? I always got lots of business ideas and stuff. There's always lots of ideas in my head. The biggest thing, though, is, of course, turning them into actual businesses. Of course, it takes money, time, effort, profit, all that sort of stuff, whatever. But, one of the biggest things that I've always been doing is buying and selling stuff. And, I've done pretty well at it. And I've never, ever done poorly at it. But, I was talking to my buddy and he was saying that, there's a lot of companies out there that buy and sell stuff and they do it in bulk and really big, amounts. And I've been trying to look into it and trying to think what I could get into to do that myself. as, you know, what could I buy in bulk to be able to resell or do that could, you know, be something that could be profitable, and just resell it and make, you know, stuff happen. So, horse trader by nature. I don't know what a horse trader means, but I don't know. A pawn shop. Yeah, I mean, obviously that is, you know, one of the routes you can take is doing a pawn shop. And, you know, people then bring the product to you. You're, you know, have the space. But there's a million pawn shops. I mean, there always are a million of them. I mean, they do well enough, obviously, but you know, there's tons of them already. So it's not really a market that I would want to get into because there's already a lot of them. A lot of them. So, I mean, I've definitely thought about it though. It has crossed my mind, and it's been something that I have a passion for and that I'm pretty good at. And it's something that you could do, but at that point, you have to commit for it and do it, and try to jump in with everyone else, or start your pawn shop in a, you know, a new city area that no one else has, you know, gotten into or what. I really like cooking too, and I'm quite good at cooking and doing stuff. I've thought about doing a food truck and trying that out and seeing if you could actually make, you know, a business and a life at that, and then maybe move into a restaurant, which would be really neat. There's some stuff like that. But packages sell Zoodoo as fertilizer. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, there's opportunity for everything. You just gotta figure out what your niche is or what your thing is. So I just you know, I do think that my stingrays will do pretty well and can do quite well for me and help me, you know, be able to have a lot of flexibility and freedom. And it's something that I've been working on, you know, as kind of my, you know, hobby for the last 5 years. And I'm starting to really see to the point where I could benefit from it. But it's still just going to take, you know, a fair amount of work and effort to get there for it fully. So I'm definitely interested, though. I mean, it's hard because it takes, you know, 4 months for the stingray pups to gestate, and then a little while to hold on to them, to get them good weight and everything, and then to sell them. So it's definitely part of that bit where I know that even, you know, right now, I'm pretty much, if I'm breeding my stingrays right now, which they are, I'm ready to produce babies at the beginning of the year. And I'm hoping at the beginning of the year I can start producing and start, you know, out good for that whole year and be able to hit, you know, a goal where, you know, I can feel comfortable with saying, at least right now, that I can make enough money that it can support, you know, having that as something to grow and to really get into, maybe even more and better. I mean, and what I mean more and better is in, I have enough stingrays to produce a lot of babies, but they also take a little bit of time and a few breedings or a few batches of babies before they start producing like that optimal number of babies. You know, usually they start out with only having 1 to 3 pups, you know, their very first birth. Usually it's only 1 or 2, and that's what you're going to get at the very first birth. But once you get a few births in, then they start producing more. So if I'm producing now, or if I'm starting now and they're producing a few, and by the beginning of the year, I hopefully will have, you know, all of my stingrays or close to all of them pregnant, so they'll be able to produce. I can keep going. Could you also build custom tanks for profit? That is a possibility. I mean, there's definitely are a few manufacturers and places that do those. You know, I've thought about a few different aquarium related products. Filtration is one of the biggest things, and I've been thinking of specifically of a biotype filter that is not done, or start a tank cleaning and servicing business, there is availability for that. The biggest thing is living in an area where tanks and aquariums are the most popular. If I lived in Vegas, that would be a big thing. I mean, obviously there's already those companies, but that would be a bigger thing to do there because of the base. Here in Utah, there's an okay amount of fish tanks and aquariums, but it still is actually relatively a small market. There's not the biggest market. That is why I ship 99% of my stingrays out of this state. They all go elsewhere. They do not stay here. So I do not service. I don't do any real business here because nobody's willing to have tanks that are needed for my type of stuff, for the stingrays and everything else. I do, so I guess with that, I do breed some other smaller fish and have some availability for a few other things that are available and that everyone can buy, and they do buy that stuff. I breed some different types of Plecostomuses and a few other small fish, which are available for everyone. But my stingrays and the main thing that I do breed, all of those, I ship them, and it's just something where people won't pay the money for them here, and they don't think they're worth that much money. They say, "Oh, I'll buy one elsewhere." Well, go for it. Unfortunately, you can't, because I know all the people that are making money. The main thing is, actually, I've been thinking about this more and more. Make closed organic biosystems. I've seen that type of setup before. It is possible. So the main thing that I've actually noticed really big here in Utah is that over the last 5 years, or even the last 2 years, or even actually the last year, 2 years to 3 years, between then and the last year, all of the major fish aquariums stores, or the fish stores and pet stores overall, but mostly all the fish stores, have actually closed down in the state. The major ones have all closed down. The biggest, the best, all of them, they've all disappeared, 100%. So there is actually an availability for it in this area, but at the same time, you wonder if those businesses have closed down and have shut their doors. Why did that happen? Were they expanding too big? Did they have way too much product? Were they overpriced? I mean, what made it so these big businesses that had tons of retail space and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of stock on hand and all sorts of stuff, what made them fail? Because especially one of them was, I don't know if I would say a higher end, but it was a very nice store and a pretty high end good place that had good, even okay prices on some stuff, but it ended up closing down. And it kind of just makes me wonder, what made that happen? There are a lot of places out there that can stay good, but it seems, in this state at least, it's more the ghetto, not so good places have stayed open, or a couple, I guess, like 2 of them have stayed open, but all the rest of them that were pretty big and actual substantial and nice places, they all had to shut their doors and close recently. So I have thought about starting it and doing an in-home type setup for that. The problem is, stingrays is not a cheap hobby or an easy one to give up space-wise. I mean, I have a pond that's taking up as much room as this whole entire living room, pretty much. That's what my pond is taking up. Is this whole entire room is what my pond is downstairs for my stingray production. And so to be able to then have another, like, even 5 or 6 tanks that I was going to devote to a system that I could bring brand new fish into and give them all the medication and make sure they're healthy and all that, is just so much. Need low overhead to compete with Petco and other big box stores. Yeah, I mean, the problem is even the big box stores, they don't carry anything that's interesting, for most people. But, the main thing is that the internet, Amazon has outdone everyone in fish food and medications and all the stuff that used to be super hard to acquire and used to be really kind of mainstream stuff that those places used to carry, and they used to carry it at a pretty good price. And I think that's where they used to make a lot of their money on, was all those extras that they could get cheap discounted on. They started to not be able to sell any of that stuff because Amazon and other companies, mostly Amazon, they can sell it at a lot cheaper of a price, and it could still get to those people in 2 days or less if they want it. And it made it impossible for people to do business anymore. So it's a challenge. So I've thought about starting up some stuff and just reselling out of my house, to certain people, well, to everyone, of course, to the public. But the problem is you just have to kind of, I know what's kind of neat in the market and what people would like, but at a certain point you have to also just get what's available and what you like and want to at the same point, I guess, a little bit of, which is not always what's, going to be the best selling to everyone. But what do you get? What type of fish do you get that people are going to want and like and be able to buy them even in a bulk to be able to resell them? That's kind of at least the advantages of stingrays, is they're rare enough and they're odd enough that people really like them. But when you start looking at a lot of the other fish, how can you get enough people to buy the fish that you bring in? So it's definitely kind of a challenge. But I do think there's a market for it. I just don't know what I would do in it or how I would mess around in it. So that's why, the stingray so far, it's worked very well for me. I figure that next year with my stingray breeding, I should be able to make easily $10,000 to $15,000 profit, no problem, on top of everything else. So that's the goal. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough of money that, we don't have the most expensive a house, and, we try not to splurge a lot on stuff. We try to live down to earth. So if that can work and it can make it so it can do, if I can make that as pure profit money, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It can make things go pretty easily around here. So my wife is fortunate enough that she has a pretty good job, and everything else can kind of work together and make it all go as I build others, buy and sell and such. Build outdoor ponds and sell pond fish. I have been thinking, actually, so with my pond that I'm building downstairs, it has made me wonder about an indoor pond building company or indoor ponds, and the availability for that. That has actually been a wonder that I've been having. It would definitely be very high end, at a certain point, but also at the other end, it couldn't be. You could do it in lots of different ways, but it has been a thought that I've had, is indoor pond building. Obviously you do them much faster than I have been doing my own right now. And you could, especially if you're doing it as a job, you could do it a lot quicker. But she may want to have kids at some point. Yes, that's also very true. We've talked about it a bit, and I still do not know where I am at wanting kids and stuff. Kids are great at some points, but other points, I just don't really know what I want to do, with kids at this point. I'm 33 years old. I don't feel like I'm where I should be or want to be or need to be sometimes for that sort of stuff. The other case of, yes, my wife can go to work and I can stay home and I can take care of a kid and take care of all that stuff, that is very much a possibility. I guess a lot of my point is if my wife can do that stuff and she can make enough money that we can support ourselves, if I can make just that extra amount of money with stingrays and with my fish stuff, and I can help boost, our income enough that we should be able to do that and more, whatever we really would like to do or need to do. The stingrays and everything should be able to do that. And I personally believe that if I can get my stingrays to produce what I want in this first year or so, honestly, the next year I should be able to almost double that. The problem is just at a certain point, you can have all the supply in the world. You just have to fill, where you're going to put that supply. There is a demand out there, but demand of people gets very picky at a certain point. They don't always just want to have exactly what you bred previously. They want something new, different, exotic. They're even willing to pay more money for it. So you always kind of have to keep stepping up your game and getting different and different stuff, which I've been working on that. But at the same time, it's something where I still have to find new customers, new people to feed with, and keep them along the path. Because most of my people, or quite a few of my people, they've been return customers. They bought when I first started with the cheaper stingrays at a couple $100, and then they moved on when they hit to be $300 to $400, and then now as I've been hitting more around like $600 plus stingrays. They've been buying all those. When I have later on where they're $800 to $1,000, I expect them to just kind of keep going up that chain and having different availability along the way. So yes, inventory for exotic fish takes up a lot of room and a lot of resources. I mean, I buy a couple $100 worth of fish food every 3 to 4 months, every 3 months or so. I mean, my fish have been eating more and more constantly. So I buy a couple $100 of fish food all the time every few months, and it eats it up. But at that same point, as I said, if I'm selling a stingray for $400 to $600, even if it's a really cheapest, the ugliest one at like $250, that stingray, just one of them, it's gonna take all the food away for 3 months worth of time. So if you literally broke it all down to one stingray can supply all the food, the water, electricity for a single month. So if I could sell literally 12 in a year or less, I've covered all my costs, 100% of everything, and then some. So it's that goal to be able to do that, and then just whatever else is left on top. Hopefully at this point, because I've done very well so far and everything's been working out good for me stingray wise, I've been able to save up money. And that's how I've been able to build my pond and been able to buy new stock and do all that stuff. So for now, I've built this pond and I've done everything. I need to produce for a little while longer, see actually what I can get out of it money-wise and everything else. And then it's the decision of buy more stock or build more pond system. And if it's a build more pond system, it's going to be a decision of how much longer can I live with my setup that I've built and, have the stingrays made enough money that they can pay $1,000 per month house payment. I mean, $1,000 per month, yes, is not a ton of a house payment, but that's pretty much honestly what we're paying about now. So if I can just take that and then put it together with a little bit extra money to buy, a bigger house that can have that availability to house everyone, the stingray should be able to pay for the house and the house payment, and then we'll just keep going off of that. So you need to find or create a market for the cast off spines. I've thought about it a little bit, like they have amber. They have bugs that get trapped in amber, and that's a big selling thing, especially in the Baltic Sea area, in Europe and everywhere. That's a really cool thing. I've thought about doing, epoxy resin, and you could, you know, make the stinger into something. You could probably even brand them as the crocodile killers or something. I mean, you know, could do something like that, but I don't I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to see if that's even something. Well, stingray spines. On eBay, you can buy 100 genuine stingray barbs. 100 real genuine stingray barbs. Spines, sharp stingrays, shark, lots of barb spine bones. You can buy 100 of them for $22. Well, 100 of them is actually a lot. They have 3 packs available. Wow. But I mean, yeah, it's something that I would get these just for free, obviously. But at the same point, like, it's just not gonna make. It's just not that much money or availability. Here's some jewelry made out of stingray spines. An incredible 9 and 5/16 inch giant stingray barb for $160. I mean, that's really cool. Giant one though, almost 10 inches. A multi-pack of 1 to 3 inch stingray barbs for $8. Yeah, five of them for $8, 20 for $16, 100 for $40. Yeah. So, I mean, there's different things, but you know. Too soon still. Oh, okay. Could they be made into sewing needles or fish hooks? I don't know, to be honest. They're serrated, you know. They're like a serrated knife, so they're not. They could be made into fish hooks, but definitely like a sewing needle or what? I don't know. So, what are people doing with the spines? I don't know. I have no idea. As I said, I sold some to one lady one time, and she was keeping them as a totem, pretty much as a realistic or a ritualist a ritual type totem type thing, or a protection totem. It seemed like. So I don't know. I don't think really anyone does anything with them, to be honest. So I don't know why you would really want them or need them. You could grind them up probably and do something with them. It's the same stuff as your fingernails, though. What do you do with your fingernail clippings? You just throw them away. If you could make money off of fingernail clippings, though, let me know that idea, and maybe we'll put them in some soup or something. It's kind of like in China, if you've ever seen like the bird nest soup. They're like taking bird nests and putting them in soup, and it's the saliva of the bird that makes the bird nests. And it's just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe people get that stuff to work, but it does work. So whatever. whatever you think and do. So, well, it's time for me to go to bed. I appreciate it, Larry. I'd love to sit around and chat and talk more. I really need to get to bed. I'm really tired. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. I gotta go pick up my dad's truck with his trailer, go grab my mother-in-law's car, haul it down to Salt Lake here. It's an hour away to go get it, an hour back to bring it back, take it to the dealership. Hopefully it'll get worked on and fixed and all that. So, have you ever raised any of them? what are those prehistoric creatures that look like armored stingrays? I know exactly what you're talking about. They're yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what they're called right off the top of my head now. But yeah, they're saltwater. Those ones are saltwater, and they're I can't remember what they are. Horseshoe crabs. That's what they are. Horseshoe crabs are what they are. So they're really neat. I really like them, and I think it'd be cool to have a system of them. But I really like kind of odd, unique creatures. So horseshoe crabs. I think they'd be great, but yeah, they're more of a crab than a stingray or anything. So those would be really cool and would be really neat to play with and have and stuff. But you know, there's not a market for them or anything like that really. They're just neat and unique creatures. So, but no, I appreciate you brainstorming and giving me some ideas and talking, Larry. It's always appreciative. It's nice to have you as a friend. I would call you a friend. We hang out enough, we chat enough. So I'm gonna head off to bed though, cause I need sleep. I've been trying to get back a little bit better into sleeping. You as well. Have a good Monday. I don't know what you're doing. You must be retired or something to stay up this late. I don't know. Maybe you're not retired. Maybe you just are a night owl. But best wishes and have a good night and a good day. And we'll have to catch up on something else. I don't know if you're interested. I know Savage talked to me into this World of Warships game. It's kind of like World of Tanks, but World of Warships, where you get, old warships and you gotta fix them all up and play with them and battle them around the seas. I've been meaning to check it out at some point. I don't know. I'm always looking to see just what games you're interested in and what sounds interesting, just so I can hopefully bring some content to you that you like, because I appreciate you for watching and doing everything. So you're always in mind when I'm doing things as much as possible. Even though I know that it's not always the most entertaining or interesting, you've always been really good about it. Thinking about it, I haven't really gone in and looked even at my comments recently. I've been busy and haven't had the time or ability to do that. There we go. So now it's going to go to a dark theme. Nope. Sounds like a play to win system. It is. It is. Yeah, they are. You usually have to pay for premium time to be able to play them. I mean, they're free, but then you pay for premium time to really be able to advance in them. And that's, it's where I've kind of been a little standoffish, because I played World of Tanks on the Xbox quite a bit, and it was fun for a while, and I really did enjoy it. But after a bit, you just notice that you can't make progress unless you pay for their premium time, and their premium time is very expensive, and you have to put a lot of money into it. So I don't really enjoy those that much at a certain point, but they're definitely fun. I just think that it's funny that Savage said that I had to get it, and I needed to play it, and I should download it right away because we'd always play a bunch of it. But so far, haven't really bothered and haven't done it. I know that I think maybe he's not playing it right now. I thought he was doing something. It shows that he's online, but I don't know what he's doing. But all right, my friend, I appreciate it much. You have a great day, great night. Get some sleep yourself. we'll see you soon, of course. And as always, it's just much appreciated to have you. Get my screen here back bigger. It's so bright. Everything on the screen is so bright, it washes it out. Best thing you could do to grow your channel is to ride the coattails of an established streamer. Hard to do, though. Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of is right now. They're talking about Tim, and Tim had, you know, this stream that he did for the relief fund for the hurricane, and that, you know, a couple well-known streamers kind of came over, you know, and, you know, said like, hey, we're going to promote you and try to grow you and your channel and stuff. And, you know, he had, you know, a couple, you know, a bit of donations sent to him for the relief fund and stuff. And, you know, of course, our little group of people are going crazy over it. Oh, he's going to be huge and he's going to be great. And, you know, in the next like month, he's going to have 1,000, you know, subscribers and blah, blah, blah. And, from 1 or 2 visits or whatever, 1 or 2 little incidences, I don't see you making it super crazy or amazing. I mean, it has to be somebody that you're going to make friends with and that you click with right away, and that you're going to work together to really make progress on something. It's not something where it's just going to be instantaneous. I mean, you have to spend a lot of time with them to be able to actually do it. So, did Savage? Oh, okay. I auto host you. All right. I was curious. Ugh. Savage was writing me a message about something. So, yeah. I mean, there's lots of different stuff that can be done and easy to do. But at this point, I need to finish my Stingray Pawn. My Stingray Pawn is my top priority. It's what I need to do. Once I get that done and things will kind of smooth out a little bit more, then I can start focusing on some other stuff a lot better until that's done. But like tonight, I could be down right now doing another epoxy coat. I decided to kind of take the night off. I'll work on it tomorrow. I need to inspect it, see how my last epoxy coat went. If it's pretty good, I'll do one more, and then I'll install my window and really get it going. I would have to offer content at a time that they can send you their people when they sign off. Yeah, and that's where Twitch, you know, can be pretty good, is because you can auto host. You know, that's what Savage was saying, that he, you know, he can set it up for auto hosting where when they're not online, that you can then be on their channel and you can auto host them. And then that way, you know, you kind of get a little bit of interaction with them. So that's something where Twitch does it better. And I'm going to probably start trying to stream on Twitch and YouTube with restreaming, kind of like Obadiah did. I had the idea originally when I very first started doing this that I wanted to do that. I haven't looked into it in a while, and I just now am starting to get it all set up and going. So it's a task, it's a project. There's lots of stuff that I need to do. I need to spend more time with setting everything up, spending some more time kind of vamping everything. So it never ends. Never ends. Alright, but I'm going to sign off. Very much appreciated, sir. You have a great night. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow or today, however you want to look at it. Enjoy. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. See you. Have a good night.